In case you are into anime, then you know about Shoto Todoroki, which is a hero protagonist in Boku no Hero Academia. But in case you don't know about Shoto, basically he's that one hero who uses fire and ice, and he can just switch in between, and he is really good. So I tried to do that in God of War Ragnarok. I actually have been trying to do that for the longest time. I just wasn't sure how to make it viable, but finally it is here, and it is super good. As always, if you want to show some appreciation, some support, don't forget to drop a like, to subscribe, and let's dive into the build. For the first time ever, we're using Manny's Pauldron of Wisdom, and what it does is quite simple. Let's say the enemies are burning. If you switch to your axe, you're going to deal more damage to burning enemies, and let's say the enemies were frosted, then you're going to deal more damage if you use the blaze. That's what this build is about. You either go cold or you either go hot. It's up to you, hot and cold, all the time. And then when it comes to the enchantment, well, because enemies are going to be status afflicted almost all the time, we want to take advantage of that using the Vanaheim set. But also because we're going to get so much immolation or permafrost, like so fast, like just blink, boom, you have permafrost or immolation. And we want to take advantage of that because our Runic is looking amazing. So we're going to actually use a Muspelheim enchantment set, and you know, because Runic also is tied to how much damage you deal whenever you do Runic attacks, well, we're going to use a Seal of Runic Stones and the Memento of The Ailing, because whenever enemies are again afflicted, which is going to be, we're going to get even more permafrost or immolation, and it is amazing. When it comes to our weapons, here's the thing, there is no status effect tied to using the spear, but what we can do is use the Hind or Attuned elements, and whenever enemies are burning or frosted, you know, we're going to deal even more damage using the spear. So we're actually taking advantage of fire or ice. And when it comes to those other, like the pommels or the axe, that's what I'm using. I'm just going for strength because you may have noticed that my vitality is not looking too good, and don't worry, all you have to do is not get hit. Don't get hit and you won't notice that you have 11 vitality, and that's, you're good to go. When it comes to my round, because again this is centered on elements, so being able to trigger elemental storms whenever we parry or block this, parry or interact with the blow attacks is amazing. I'm always using the Talisman of Meign because I think this thing is probably the best. Other than Scuffnut is probably the best relic, and I always use it. Poison for Freya, and wait, this is not right. So sigil arrows for Freya, and one more thing, Runic potency. Where is it again? Yeah, this one. Yeah, see, this is what you want for Freya, dealing massive damage whenever enemies are afflicted by sigil arrows. And when it comes to the skills, here, just do whatever you want, but you want to take advantage of any skill which afflicts elements to enemies whenever you attack them, and that's the one moves. Those are the one moves you want to spam. So just keep that in mind, and let's dive into the explanation of how to take advantage of this build. So here I am thinking about how to name this build. So far I've gone with Master of All Elements, the half and half build, or the Shoto Todoroki build. As simple as that, but if people don't know about Shoto, then they won't know about this build. Anyway, things you need to keep in mind when it comes to this build. First of all, it is quite fun to use because it encourages you to switch between your weapons, whether it's your blades, your axe, or your spear. You are encouraged to switch because you deal even more damage whenever you switch after afflicting enemies with its status effect, which is very good. It's quite fun. You're not actually stuck with using one weapon. But also notice that whenever, because remember, Runic affects how much damage you deal whenever you use your Runic attacks. It means that not only will you be able to trigger a Bifrost Storm, but I also noticed, I may be wrong about this, but I also noticed that your Bifrost Storm is going to affect enemies even more. So I actually advise using the Runic attacks which are increased, especially those elements like frost, fire. Like just focus on those Runic attacks and just don't put them for the sake of putting them. You need to take advantage of having that much Runic. And when it comes to permafrost and immolation, that's where the whole build becomes very good. Thanks to our race armor, and more importantly to the Memento of The Ailing, that one enchantment, whenever enemies are afflicted by one status effect, doesn't matter which one, whenever we hit them, we're going to build up that permafrost or immolation really fast. So my advice will be to just pop them whenever you can. You're going to get them so fast that it will just be a waste to not pop them whenever you can, especially when enemies are, let's say one enemy is burning and then you can have permafrost on your axe. That's when you want to pop it. That way you're going to deal massive frost damage to an already burning enemies. So extinguished flames is going to be massive, and the damage is it's it's really good. So don't be shy, and also keep in mind that whenever you actually activate permafrost, maelstrom, or immolation, enemies are going to be staggered. So this is a good defensive way to get them to back off, right? You just pop it, boom, you attack them next. There is just one thing missing, one thing which could have made this build even better than it already is. Just imagine if your spear could afflict enemies with one status effect. I know the spear is really good when it comes to stun, but imagine if it could afflict enemies with dizziness, and you could see it just the same way you see sonic arrows or sigil arrows afflict enemies. That would have been so nice, but as of right now, you are still free to use the spear whenever enemies are frosted or burning, and you're going to seal a lot of damage because again, you are the master of all elements. And the good thing is, because we have the round, which is going to pop up whenever we parry or interrupt those blood rings attacks, well, there is a chance that at any time you perform those actions, there's going to be a storm, a Bifrost storm, an ice storm, or a firestorm. And whenever those things pop, it's an easier way to afflict enemies, and you can benefit from that. I think it lasts 10 seconds, that elemental storm, and it is really good. It's like sometimes it's like having the Bifrost storm on speed dial. Like, you don't have to use like all those 3 runic attacks in a row to be able to trigger. It just triggers, and I feel like it triggers reasonably like often. Right, you can get the storm to pop up often, and so you should just better use it. I'm going to go against Gna. The only problem is that because I'm playing on an older file, whenever I go back, I need to farm some resources and then upgrade some piece of gear. I just hate it. I just hate the process, but I like being able to go back and replay. And I also did that recently whenever I actually destroyed Gna so fast that it wasn't fun. I gotta say, it's fun to watch, but it's not fun to experience because the fight is over because it starts. Like, I'm like, this is actually mostly why I saved the Berserker set for like the very last build I'm going to make, because I want the whole experience to be fun, and there's nothing fun about killing people in 10 seconds. It's just silly. It's just so silly. So this is the master. I still don't know how to call it, but let me know what name is that just it feels better. This is the build, and it is really good. Like, gotta say, every single build is kind of good. Like, come on, like at this point you have so many builds to choose from, and every single one of them is going to be like super good. This one, whenever you are like immolation or permafrost, you're going to notice the difference. The damage is unreal. Sometimes even without using the Relic, you're going to see that, oh wow, yeah, it is that good. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you soon. See you very soon. I still have one build to go. I think it's the coward build, and then I'm done. I'll see you soon. Bye bye. Have a nice day. Whatever. Bye bye.